And I asked you guys if this would be okay as a flat fold, and it was unanimous. You all said, absolutely not. Hi, I'm Sharon, and this is episode 16 of the Sampler Style Floss Tube. Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 16. I am very excited to be with you today. I have a lot to talk about, so we're going to jump right into it. But before we do that, I wanted to thank all of you who've subscribed to this channel in the last couple months. My numbers have gone way up, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the positive comments that I've been getting. I really enjoy filming these for you, and to show my appreciation, I'm going to have a giveaway next time. And in order to enter the giveaway, you can make a comment about anything you want down below. And I am going to give away a gift certificate to one of my favorite cross-stitch shops, and that is Kitten Stitcher. So what I'll do is I'll do a drawing of a lucky winner, announce the winner, and you email me, and I will send that along. I'll send along a gift card to Kitten Stitcher. So I love her site. I think she's amazing. She's an awesome person. She just posted her latest floss tube, and it was fascinating. She's so knowledgeable about the cross-stitch world, and I love it. Okay, so if you haven't already, please subscribe. I would love for the winner of the giveaway to be a subscriber. Not required, but it would be really nice if you could subscribe to this channel, and you can hit the bell, and then you'll be notified when I upload a new episode. And yeah, so let's get started, because oh my goodness, I have a ton to talk about and lots to show you. So by the title of this episode, you will see that I have 5 things to show you that need framing. I do not do my own framing. I'm never going to say I never will, but honestly, like finishing, sewing, that kind of stuff, it's not what I'm interested in doing right now, specifically because I am so busy, and every ounce of free time that I have, I want to stitch. So trade-off on that is that I'll be spending money on framing. But that's fine. I have a yarn dyeing business that helps fund all of that fun stuff. So let's get right to it. I'm going to show you 5 things that desperately need framing in my life. I'm starting with the oldest finished object and leading up to the most recent. And I have a lot. I've been stitching a lot lately. All right, my oldest finished object that needs to be framing is this. This is Pennywise and Georgie. I will link it down below. I do not know who did this, but like I said, I will link it down below. I got the pattern on Etsy, and I finished this summer or late summer of 2020. And I absolutely love it. It was a gift from my daughter, and I gave her to her the Christmas of 2020 and said I would frame it for her. And she's interesting. I think she would prefer me give her charts than finished objects because she wants to stitch them. So, not that she was unappreciative But I'm thinking I'm going to keep this for now. I will bequeath it to her. So, I don't know. I may give it to her, I may not. Let's see if it fits in her new house. She just bought a new house in Massachusetts, and I don't know. I don't know if she's going to want to hang it there. I have spots I can hang it, so. Believe it or not, my home has lots of wall space because I'm a fairly new stitcher, and my home is sort of going through a transition right now. I am in the process of having all the wallpaper stripped in my home. I'm going to have that done in September. And I'm having everything painted, and I need things for the walls. So I'm kind of a minimalist decorator, so I have enough on the wall. You know what I mean? Like, but it can change. It's fine. I don't really have, do I have any stitching home? No. I don't have any stitching hung. And my husband loves my stitching. So that is a positive. So I don't know if he will love this piece, but I know I've shown him things and he says he loves it. So we shall see. The next piece I have to show you, I know I showed it to my husband, but I know he doesn't remember it because I showed him a piece that I was thinking of hanging in the family room, and he said, well, we need a piece with a ship because it's kind of nautical in there. And so I said, well, I have a piece that I finished with a ship, so I'll show it to him later, but here it is. You guys know it. This is Coming to America by Brenda Gervais. I finished this in the late spring of 2021. And I have not framed it yet, which is a shame. This was stitched on vintage country mocha with all the called for threads, because I was a new-ish stitcher back then. And I don't know. I wasn't as comfortable as I was switching threads as I am now, but I love the colors. It's perfection. It is stitched on 40 count. Because even as a new stitcher, I said, I can stitch on 40 count. I could always see the holes, no problem. So this is gorgeous, you guys. It's stunning. Beautiful. The only thing is my French knots are not that great. So these chickens right here have French knots for eyes, and my French knots are not very good. They are not symmetrical or even. They're just, yeah, they're not great. So I'm going to show them to you right now on these chickens. And I think I'm going to redo all the French knots, and I think that's why I kept from sending this out, which is ridiculous, but I will redo those, and I would like to have this done for the fall, and I will be hanging that in our family room. The third stunning project I have for you, you've seen this in recent months. This is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. I stitched this on Lakeside Linens vintage pecan butter, I believe. And the only color, I changed the color of the house to Color and Cotton Sampler Peach. And I changed this red, I think I changed it to Weeks Crimson. But it's on 36 count, and I love it. And this one doesn't need to be framed right away because this is going in the room that's getting redone. This is going to be hung by the front door next to my recliner so I can see it every day. And like I said, that room won't be finished until October, so no rush on that. And I may even change where I put that, so yeah. But that one is kind of third in line to get framed. The next piece you all saw in my last video. This is The Hound and the Hare by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is piece number 4. This will also go in my living room that's being redone. And I asked you guys if this would be okay as a flat fold, and it was unanimous. You all said, absolutely not. And that was fine, thank you. And as I looked at it on the screen when I was editing the episode back, yes, this would be not good as a flat fold. It needs to be framed for real because it's a beautiful size. It's lovely. This is also going to go in that living room. It's going to be gorgeous. I love it. So right now I have a beautiful reproduction oil. It's not real oil. It's probably a print, a painting of a hunt scene. I'll put a picture in here over my mantle. I probably will be switching that out once the room is done. I'll show you what I want to put there someday. But yeah, this would look nice with that. So this is Modern Folk Embroidery, like I said, The Hound and the Hare. It is stitched on 32 count, 2/2. Picture this plus shale. And it's super pretty. I love it. And last, but certainly not least, this is probably, I don't know, they're all my favorites. This is a special piece. I love this. I finally finished it, you guys. Look at this. Oh my goodness. This is the All Hallows Eve sampler by Joan Elliott. It is absolutely stunning. I stitched this on 36 count. Picture this plus Velt, which is one of my favorite fabrics of all time because I love a fabric with a little bit of green in it. And this does not disappoint. Look at the details. I'll give you a moment. If you want to have a lot of fun with your stitching, I highly recommend this pattern. Erin stitched this as well. We kind of did a little stitch along with this project. And it is beautiful. I absolutely love it. So those are the 5 pieces that I need to have framed. Can you guess which one I'm going to have done first? That would be these girls. I can't wait to have this framed. And if I send it out this week, it should be done by Halloween. So I'm going to send it to Paige the Framer. Sue Stokes, I talk about Sue every Flosstube. She's a big inspiration for me. Sue Stokes from the Floss Toss Flosstube and LFA Linens had hers just finished by Paige. I want mine done exactly the same way, maybe with a little less margin. Well, I'll talk to Paige. And that one is definitely going out. I might send out the Brenda Gervais Coming to America piece as well. Save my pennies. Sell some more yarn, hopefully, and get those framed, because I'd love to have those for the fall. I'm going to send them together and have them both done at the same time. So yeah, I am very excited about having those framed and on my wall for this coming autumn. Let's talk about whips. I love stitching in black. I don't know if you saw that about me, but I love stitching in black. So this is Modern Folk Embroidery, and this is the 2022 Mystery Stitch Along, and I am just about caught up. This little motif right here, this little berry basket, I did not finish by the end of June. It's fine. It's that one right kind of under the ship. So I will show you this a little bit at a time. I'm stitching this 1/2 on 40 count Legacy from Picture This Plus. I love the ship motif, and I love this big flower that's next to the ship. So beautiful. And July's clue is just a mirror of all of that, so that'll be fun to do. I haven't started it yet because it needs to be in timeout for a little while I do some other things, but I will start stitching this again probably on the 15th of the month, and I should be caught up by July 31st. I have a finish, and this is probably going to be a flat fold finish because I think it would be a cute little flat fold. This is Be of Good Cheer by the Scarlet House. This is my very first Scarlet House piece. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And it'll be a really cute little decoration for, you know, the holidays. So I am going to send this out to Alyssa. I wanted to show it to you all first. I've had this kind of hanging, like just propped up off my hutch for the last couple weeks since I finished it, and I really enjoy it. It's beautiful. I loved stitching on this. I stitched it on 40 count fawn by Picture This Plus. I have a lot of Picture This Plus fabric. I like it. I stitched it 1/2 with all the called for NPI silks. This is kind of a warm red. I am more into a cooler red. However, I love this warm red on here. I think it looks amazing. I'm so glad I trusted the colors. Thrilled with it. So yeah, so many fun things that'll be in my house very shortly, and I am so excited about it. Here is another piece that I actually would love to finish by the end of the summer. I think I can do it if I don't get too distracted. You will see, oh my goodness, you'll see that coming up in a few minutes. But anyway, I've shown this a lot lately. This is Anne Gott. I didn't get much done on her the last couple weeks, but I did the outline of this border right here. So I thought that I was farther along, but I'm maybe a little more than halfway through. So I have a lot of grass to do. There's a pastoral scene here with grass and animals, and there's some big flower baskets and the border left to go. So I'm going to work on her today when I'm done with this. Oh, here's all the flosses. These are all the called for. You can get this, I think, from most stitching shops now. It's by Needlework Press. I love them. I'm stitching this on 36 count, picture this plus, Heartland 1/2. Okay, so in the knitting world, we have an affliction, and that we coin to be startitis. Startitis. I have a really bad case of startitis for cross stitch right now. I want to start everything, and it doesn't usually hit me. I'm usually pretty good. I keep with my same projects. You can see I finish things. It may take me a couple months, but I do finish things. I want to start everything right now. And you know what? I get it. I get why. I watch Flosstubes, and a lot of stitchers have so many whips, like in the hundreds, some of them. And I would think, wow, that's a lot of whips. But I get it now, because I'm justifying it in that when something is started, it's there for when you just want to pick it up and stitch on it. You don't have to worry about what other floss am I going to use? What fabric am I going to use? Where should I start this project? How much margin? You don't have to worry about it. It's there. It's already set to go. So that's how I'm justifying all my starts. So let me show you some of the starts that I did. Well, all the starts that I did in the past couple weeks. So let's see. I started 2 smalls, and I started 2 large projects. So let's start with the smalls. I showed you this project last week. I told you that I wanted to start it. I kitted it up, and I started it. Honestly, a lot of people don't like kitting up things and putting floss on floss drops and whatnot. I love it. I find kitting things up very therapeutic, because sometimes I just don't feel like stitching if I'm tired or whatever, and I just want to play with colors because I love color, and I love matching the fabric to the flosses, and it's fun. So I kitted this up, and then I said, well, I'm going to start it. I did that with a lot of things. So this is the Honeybee Pin Drum by Heartstring Samplery. I just have a small start on it, and I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to stitch this one on Saturdays. I've had a goal of doing what I coin as hashtag Smalls Saturdays. If y'all want to join me with that and use the hashtag Smalls Saturdays, let me know down below. And I'll just work on this until it's done. It's not very big. I think I could probably do this in not too much of a time. So here is my tiny little start. I did the honeycombs. I'm stitching this on 36 count Picture This Plus Tyco. And there she is. Very pretty. And I love how the flosses look on here. I was going to put it on that Russian tea cake I showed you last week, but best laid plans, I put the flosses on it and I wasn't crazy about it because I was outside, and I find that matching colors is really ideal outside, and the Russian tea cake was a tad too pink, and this is more of a gold, and I liked it better with the floss. So I started that one, and I'm going to try to work on that on Saturdays. We'll see how that goes. So the problem that I have with rotations like that, where I say I'm going to stitch a small on a Saturday, is that I can't tear myself away. Basically from my bigger samplers and bigger projects. So we'll see how that goes. So, like I showed you this finish. I really loved it. And I really missed having a sampler where I was using a lot of red. So I purchased, from Hands Across the Sea, I purchased Edna Varinia Nickel 1884. Nicola had shown it on one of her latest Flosstube episodes, and I fell in love with it because it was really different. I will put a picture in here of what it looks like. And this is going to be my one red thread a day project. How pretty is she? So this is the other half of this that I cut. So this is Picture This Plus 40 count fawn. It's crazy, but that's fine. I'm using Soie d'Alger 103s for the very first time, and I love it. These 103s are a little bit finer than some of the other silk that I normally use, and I think it would be great for a 46 count. This is color 681. It's gorgeous. Looks great on this fawn. And yeah, very happy with how this is starting out. So I only missed one day since I started this. So I'm doing one red thread before bed. It only takes me 20 minutes. And lettering is so easy. It's super fun. So I'm enjoying this small piece. Okay, time for the big boys. Or big girls. I started Dark Queen of the Sea. I may have had a tiny start on her last time I recorded, but I got a lot of her hair done. I have a very nice start on her. So I'm stitching her on 28 count Picture This Plus Nessie. And I absolutely love how she's coming out. So this is definitely different stitching than sampler stitching. At least the sampler stitching that I mostly do. It's a lot of shading, and I'm not the greatest at that yet. I'm trying. So I'm stitching it color by color. So when I'm done with all of one shade of purple, I'll do the next shade. That seems to work for me the best. I mean, a lot of people, you know, have all the different threads coming out. My brain doesn't work that way at all. That would drive me insane. So I just do one color at a time, and that's working out. And once I got the initial first color in, I do a lot better. But I have to do a lot of, I almost have, when I first started this, I needed to print out the chart and put it on top of the fabric, and just so I could really follow along. Now it's not so bad. I stitch from my phone. I stitch from PDFs that are on my phone, which they're not small. I can blow it up, whatever, but I have to just make sure I'm where I should be when I do the shading. I had the same problem when I did Pennywise and Georgie. This was a beast. First of all, it was on 36 count. 36 count fresco, which is one of my favorite colors. And the shading in here, insanity. I didn't love it. It's nuts. This is much, much less craziness. And it's also on a larger count, larger hold linen. 36 count was very tight and it drove me nuts, but this is nice. It's easy to get your needle in and out and whatever. And the needle, I'm using a size 26 Bowen needle, which I really like for 28 count linen. The 28 size needle is a little bit too thin and slippery, and I can't get the threads through the tiny little hole on the peacemakers. So that's why I use the Bowen, and I kind of like the more substantial needle for this count, which is, yeah. Here are her flosses. They're gorgeous. This is Dark Queen of the Seas by Autumn Lane Stitchery. They have a new mystery coming out. I bought her when the mystery was over. They have a new mystery coming out, Dark Queen of the Earth. So I bought that chart. I probably won't start that for a while, but I wanted to have the chart because I missed out on the mystery clues for this, and it took her another 6 months to publish this chart for the rest of us, and that's completely fine. But I wanted to have the other chart so I can stitch it when I want. And my very last start was an impulse. Total impulse. And it had to do with, I kitted this up and I fell in love with the colors and I needed to start it right away. And I'm so glad I did. That is Teresa Kogut, Come to the Garden. I am in love with this sampler. I loved it when I saw it. It reminds me of my garden. My garden is not as pretty as that, but I do have a little bit of a garden, and I really enjoy sitting out there all summer. I had gotten an email from Shepherd's Needle, and they had some fabrics in stock, and one of them was one of my favorites, which is Fresco. That's what I stitched this on. I love it. It's gorgeous. I have some 36 count Fresco. Beautiful. It's definitely lighter than the 36 count that I did Pennywise and Georgie on. It's definitely lighter. But it's beautiful. But I wanted to do Come to My Garden on 40 count, so I'd have a better margin. I really like to leave a nice margin because I stitch in a hoop and it just is perfect. So I like to leave a 3-inch margin. And so Shepherd's Needle had fresco available in 40 count. So I ordered it and here it is. I started it. It's even lighter than the 36 count that I just showed you. So here, well, they look about the same, but anyway, here it is on 40 count, and here's my little start. And here are the colors. And I'm in love with it. It is so fun. So fun. Oh my goodness. These colors are so pretty. And these motifs are nice big blocks of color. And even the border looks fun. It is a really good pattern. I was going to start a brand new sampler in September for Sampler September, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I just want to work on her for all of Sampler September and see how far I can get, because I'm just obsessed. I am obsessed. I just started it yesterday and I can barely put it down. It's taking all my willpower to work on my other things, which once I start working on something, I really love working on it, and then I have trouble switching to something else. So I've been trying to do like an hour with, Come to My Garden, an hour with Dark Queen, and an hour with Angot, and I just have trouble stopping and starting it, with this other piece. So I'm working on that. But yeah, I love all my projects right now. I hope you all are really enjoying all of your projects. Tell me what you're stitching on. All right, so the last thing I have to show you is haul. And I'm going to count this as haul. It's not really haul, but maybe I did get some of the flosses from last time. But I kitted up Teresa Kogut. Oh, I almost started this one too, but I resisted. It was either between this or Come to My Garden, and I chose Come to My Garden. So this is Newcastle Bouquet Biscornu. I love it. It's really kind of the companion piece to Come to My Garden, maybe, because the moths are similar colors. So I found fabric that I like. This is Picture This Plus 40 count. It's on 40 count. Sand. And I put all the colors together on floss drops. The pattern calls for doubloon. Doubloon is very gold. And I was not crazy about the doubloon. Do y'all want to see the doubloon? I can go get it. I'll show you. So I'm actually stitching something else on doubloon. It's another big project that's in hibernation, and I will get that out at some point. But here is my little leftover. Look at how gold that is. I mean, it's pretty, and it's fine with the flosses, but this is definitely a dark shade of gold. And it doesn't really look like the photograph of the Biscornu, but I mean, photographs are hard to... So I wanted something a little lighter, still a warm fabric, but lighter, and I put my flosses next to a bunch, and I came up with sand, and I like it. Here's the doubloon, I like the sand. So I came really close to starting it, but I'm not going to. I want to finish the bee pin drum and then make this my small Saturday at some point. Because eventually, yeah, probably. I probably won't do any Halloween smalls this year. Never say never, but I don't know. We'll see what comes up in the cross stitch world between now and then. I have my eye on a couple things. We'll see. I spent my entire summer last summer stitching on All Hallows Eve. So, we'll see. I got some things in the mail, and I had this chart. This is what I was going to start for Sampler September and Morrison. But I didn't have the floss. I have a 46 count fabric, just white, Zweigart plain white linen. But I didn't have any of the flosses. So a couple of months ago, I ordered the flosses from Traditional Stitches. You can still get the flosses, can't get the chart, sorry. And they came, and they're beautiful. Love them. I got the 103s, and I think it's going to stitch up great on this white Zweigart. And I'm excited about it, but it probably won't be until 2023. I was going to, like I said, do it for Sampler September. I think I'm going to work on that Teresa Koga. I don't know. I might change my mind. We'll see. And I got my unicorn chart on eBay. So this chart came out before I was stitching. Way before. This chart came out in 2018, and it is Hands Across the Sea, Queen of the May in 2018, and it is a beast. It is right up my alley. Remember I told you I have a spot above my fireplace that I want to change out the artwork from? Yeah, I want to put this here. And I showed it to my husband. He fell in love with it. This, Sarah Brazier, 1829. So I had a search on eBay, and one popped up. And there's one out there right now, buy it now. It's a lot of money, and I wasn't about to spend that. So one popped up for a reasonable price, and I won the auction, and it wasn't too bad. I'm sure this chart was expensive when it came out because it's unbelievable. It's huge, and so well documented, and it's amazing. So I don't think I paid like an exorbitant amount for this out of print chart, and it's never been stitched on, and the seller said that the proceeds went for her guild, which is awesome. So I have it now, and I love it. And honestly, it's not going to be hard. It's just big. The only thing I haven't done is the satin stitches, which are probably going to drive me insane because I'm going to want them to look perfect. We'll see how that goes. But I have seen videos of this piece when the attic had it on display, and I fell in love with it. So this is an expensive chart to kit because there's a lot of silk, which of course I'm doing it in silk, and it needs a fat half, or no, it needs a full half to get the margins that I want. So I'm probably going to stitch it with all the called for, even the linen. The linen is just a plain Zweigart linen, And it's over 400. It's like 480 by 480. I mean, it's crazy. So I think what I'm going to be doing with this one is I'm going to be kitting this up over the next 6 months. I'll just buy the silks a little bit at a time. I'll just make an order every month and just get the silks and collect them and start this in 2023. And what I'm going to, how I'm going to handle it is kind of like I did with the Modern Folk Embroidery Mystery Cell. I just have to make sure I don't start another mystery cell. It's bigger than this. So I'll just do a section at a time. I'll do a page. I don't even, how many pages does this have? Okay, so this is going to take me longer than a year to stitch. It has 35 pages. So even if I did 2 pages a month, which maybe, I don't know. Let me, it's a beautiful chart. I'm just going to flash. It's stunning. I don't know. It's probably going to take me 2 years. That's fine. That's fine. I'll just do a page and a half a month. I don't know. 3 years maybe. That's crazy. But anyway, it's beautiful because I want to stitch on other things as I stitch on this. It's just a long term. I know it's a long-term project, but that's how I am. We'll see. I might get obsessed with it and just stitch it all the time. I don't know. That would make kind of boring show, wouldn't it? My other knitting show, I've been knitting on the same sweater since January, and I can't seem to finish it, and it's so boring. I feel bad for my knitting people. If you're one of them, I'm sorry. I'm almost finished with the sweater. I have one more thing to show you this afternoon, and that is some linen that I purchased last year, and it took a year to come. So it's Lakeside Linens, obviously, and that's fine because I want to have some of this stuff available to me. So when I want, you know, a deep gold fat half of 36 count light exemplar, no, this is vintage exemplar, I can have it. It's in my stash. So that's what this is. This is a fat half of 36 count vintage exemplar, and it's gorgeous. I got this from Traditional Stitches in Canada. They're lovely. Even though they're in Canada, they ship to the US, and shipping's pretty quick. I ordered those silks. It came really fast. Very pretty. I got these from 123 Stitch. This is 36 count vintage light exemplar. So here's the difference. This is the dark. I mean, it's lighter for sure. It's beautiful. It's a fat quarter. I've been trying to order more fat halves lately. The other thing is the dilemma of, you know, do you cut into it if you just need a fat quarter? Yeah, it's a dilemma. Ideally, you would have one of each, right? A fat quarter and a fat half. I'm sure some of you have that. I'm working on it. Okay, and then this is, I love this color. Oh my goodness, this is right up my alley. This is Lakeside Linens 36 count lentil. Oh, I love it. I'm a sucker for fabrics with a little bit of green. I want some 40 count of this. So I have been really enjoying this summer. I've been stitching a lot by my pool. The weather has been absolutely gorgeous, and I have been organizing my time pretty well for crafting, and that makes me very happy. Don't forget to enter the giveaway for 2,000 subscribers. Thank you so much again for that. And that is a $50 gift certificate to Kitten Stitcher's website. Just make a comment down below to be entered in that. And I hope you have a great couple of weeks. Stitch something beautiful, and cheers.